Mohanji. This book reading session is from Mohanji Datta Tapovan Ashram from Ganeshpuri. It's raining today. I'll just make a short session today and we will read it from this sacred place. Judging people. The retreat had much to offer besides the stories. Beautiful experiences began right at the retreat. There were so many occasions where I felt as though Mohanji could read my thoughts. I shall give you a gist in this chapter and dedicate yet another chapter for other so many experiences. We start judging people even before we have met them. I am no different and was distracted to look around at other participants. The very sight of another would erupt thoughts of judgment in my mind. I saw myself judging people for their looks, acts, speech, and so on. Soon began the satsang program, which is a question and answer session. Mohanji kindly started addressing participants' questions. He was answering a question where he began to tell about an incident in contest to judging. He said that a lady got fired from a job because she was not so good looking. While leaving the place, she told her boss who had fired her that the problem was actually with herself because there was something in her that made her see other people as ugly. This was like a hard slap on my face. It was like Mohanji could read my mind because I had been judging too. I was categorizing people as beautiful, as ugly, as fat, as jovial, as good, as bad, and so on. That's the first time I experienced Mohanji as he describes himself a mirror to our own face. Hardly did I realize that there would be many such incidents to follow that would reflect my own negativities back to me. Hardly was I aware that I had already embarked on a new journey with Mohanji, a journey where he would be taking me through a deep cleansing process, a journey of purification. The impact of this particular incident on me was that I started accepting people as they are, and by not allowing my mind to get into making judgments. My journey to purification had begun right on the first occasion to be with Krishna, Kriya initiation. Then on one of the days we had Kriya initiation. Consciousness Kriya is yet another technique to get connected to Supreme Consciousness. It enables a seeker to lead a life of liberated existence, that is, freedom from the shackles of a mind and its patterns. Mohanji initiates us with his thumb placed over a third eye on the forehead. His grace kindly helps remove energy blockages from a system within the permissible boundaries of our karma. The burdens of karma that we carry are huge. The impressions of memories that are kept stored in our sheaths, means pockets in our energetic body, provoke certain kinds of behavioral patterns in us and are also the reason behind taking repeated births. This is what energy blockage means. Faith is huge determining factor here to facilitate best results. Purity of our heart, another. Again, there are beautiful experiences related to it, so stay tuned to read them right as here my next story. My questions to Mohanji. Let me brief you about the questions I asked Mohanji during the satsang programs. We write our questions on a piece of paper and one of the volunteers does the job of reading these out to Mohanji. One question that I asked him was, "Do I have your blessings and do you accept me at your lotus feet?" And his answer was Tathastu. Tathastu is a Sanskrit word and it translates as "so be it," because what you wish for, let it come true. This one word answer meant the world to me because at that point in time I was immersed in sorrows neck deep and had reached Mohanji with the feeling of complete surrender. Attaining assurance of acceptance became a starting point for building a strong relationship. The pages have got stuck because of the rain. See, they've all become so wet. I'm trying to turn the page, but they've got stuck. Can't turn them. Yeah, I'll just read one more page and then we can stop. See, it's all wet in the rain, but we'll continue reading. The other question I asked him was, life is very, very hard. How can I continue to live like this? Due to time constraints, this question of mine did not get picked up. Nobody ever leaves empty-handed once I've approached Mohanji. He fills us up. My question not getting picked up is a part of the Leela. Leela is a Sanskrit word for divine acts of God. This Leela unfolded in the upcoming time. I have shared that story in the following chapters as and when it happened in time. Mohanji meets me in the image of my own son. I will now write a detailed account of closing day of the retreat program as it is very special. Usually on the closing day of any satsang programs, Mohanji gives an embrace to all participants present. This is a moment of life, a moment for life to any Mohanji devotee. It is comparable to that of a Rama Hanumana embrace, full of bliss. He gently walked towards each one of us, embracing each one and thereby filling up the devotees' innermost hearts. I was patiently, or rather impatiently, waiting for my turn to experience the divine bliss. It was now my turn. Mohanji did approach me, but he did not seem to be with me. He did not see me in the face. In fact, he turned his face to the side. There wasn't any exchange of words either. I only felt a very casual hug around me while he appeared to be focused on other people. I felt so completely unnoticed. This moment that I was so heartily waiting for happened in a very casual manner. I observed that it was not so with other participants. This incident kind of got me hooked. I have heard from great masters that a master's action cannot be comprehended. Even the minutest of the action could be serving a purpose which we may not understand. I headed back home after 5 days, but the question kept lingering on my mind as to why Mohanji would not embrace me like he did to everybody else. Why did he not make an eye contact with me? What would make him turn his face sideways? Was he fulfilling some purpose? What could that be? Various thoughts were happening in my mind, like could it be because I was filled with thoughts and emotions, or could it be because we just met for the first time and maybe because I was still not eligible? There were only questions, but I did not have any answers. Almost 3 months had passed since this incident, but the question was still bothering me. Mohanji says, when you really need answers, nature has its own ways to provide you with these. One day it so happened that I had a moment of complete silence, a very brief moment, like I was completely blank. There were no thoughts bothering me and my mind felt completely still. A revelation happened to me in that moment, a revelation that Mohanji actually was meeting me in the image of my own son. I will just brief you here about my son so you can relate to the context. My older son is a special needs boy by birth and that point in time had completed 25 years of age. He is too shy to look anybody in the eyes. He usually doesn't meet people in the face and also avoids eye contact. He turns his face sideways when meeting anybody. Now this is the exact gesture Mohanji was displaying while meeting me on the closing day. This revelation swept me off my feet. I was now beginning to get a glimpse of the great stature of Mohanji. Surrender started to happen spontaneously. I was trying to process this extraordinary pulsation. There were thoughts like, I am meeting Mohanji for the first time, and how could he possibly know me or anything about me or my life or my situations? And he is already meeting me in the image of my own son. I kept pondering on it over and over again. There are so many things one can deviate from this small incident, derive from this small incident. Like, he knows us more than we know ourselves. He is aware of our pain. He knows exactly what brings us to him. He is kind of giving me an assurance that I don't have to worry anymore as I am in his care now. I'll stop this video with this beautiful picture, Rama's loving embrace to Hanuman. So it is love of the Lord on the devotee and the surrender of the devotee to its master, and this beautiful embrace, a bliss, full of bliss, which really, takes all the sorrows away from our life. Thank you for joining me today from this Datta Tapovan ashram in Ganeshpuri on this rainy day. I'll just show you the umbrella we have here. A big umbrella. Also, we'll give shade to Lord Datta. Thank you. Catch you again on next episode. Till then, stay blessed. Jai Mohanji.